How you guys doing? How you guys doing? Welcome to another live stream. We're going to discuss some of the racism that we've seen in LA County. We're going to discuss it because I didn't realize how close to home some of this stuff is going to hit. When I first talked about this, I'm thinking to myself, around certain circles that I'm talking to allies, people who understand. And the second that I mentioned my anger towards LA council members saying some racist things about, 2-year-old black toddlers. It's calm down, Dion. Calm down. There's racism in every race. Have you ever noticed how it doesn't matter how aggrieved we are, right? It doesn't matter what the current news is. It's always calm down. You have better behavior than our folks, right? Have you ever noticed that pattern? I've noticed. I've noticed that every time you turn around, black folks are expected to act better than you. And I'm going to tell you something. We're getting tired of that. We're getting tired of being acted upon, and then you tell us to act better with our reactions. You have LA council members who were caught on tape, on audio, leaked audio, calling black children monkeys. There is no way for us to inappropriately react to that, right? Given that who the intended target was, right? You would think that in that moment, people would zip it. They wouldn't do the all lives matter thing, right? But I just heard it. I just heard somebody very close to me, all lives matter, even this situation, as they live in California, in the very state this happened. Don't you find that incredible? Even when we are the agreed party in LA County, they are somehow making it about somehow being our fault. Being our fault. That's how it always works out for black people. LA County. A bunch of racists in LA County. 3 Hispanic members of the LA Council, LA City Council, were caught on tape being racist. And yet, for some reason, the mainstream media won't touch it. For some reason, the same people who went after Dave Chappelle, Tracy Morgan, Whoopi Goldberg, so many other black celebrities, you told black celebrities to shut up and dribble. You told black celebrities to not kneel. You told black celebrities to not speak out. And yet, for some reason, some odd reason, people are silent now. Don't be silent. Speak up now. You had so much to say when we were outspoken. You had so much to say when we were out there speaking our truth to improve our people, to get rights and tangibles for our people. So if you were speaking out then, tell us to shut up and freaking dribble. Then speak up now when you have a legitimate case of racism, when you have it on tape that you can't deny. I don't want to hear about calm down. I don't want to hear about my tone. You don't like it, leave. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Because right now I've earned this rage. LA City Council, they've earned that smoke. You sit there on tape calling black children what? Monkeys? And you want me to not say anything about that. And then you want me to think that there's nothing wrong with the larger culture there. That Mihola La Raza stuff. Now, playing stupid does not improve how I feel about it. Being honest does at that point. Right? Being honest does. I don't want to hear any deflections. It's my live stream. You don't like it, leave. No, we've sat around and we've heard this Mihola La Raza nonsense for the longest time. For the longest time. No, you're going to hear this smoke now. You've denied the anti-blackness coming out of that community for the longest time. You've lied about it. No. Clean your house. It's 2022. It is too late in the game for people to be sitting here playing stupid. I didn't know that was racist. I don't believe you. I didn't know there was a bunch of anti-blackness in the Hispanic community. I don't believe you. There's whole terms for it in Spanish. I don't believe you. My first major viral live stream was a person, right? A person who was from the Mexico tribe in Mexico. And an actual indigenous person who lives in that country. I had about 8,900 people watching concurrently. That was my biggest live stream ever. And they were telling me about all the anti-blackness that was going on in Mexico. So now you want me to believe there's no anti-blackness in Mexico? Are you serious? Stop it. How dare people come to me, see something like that happen, I complain about it, and then you lecture my reaction to it? Excuse me, there were people who walked on stage with Dave Chappelle trying to harm that man. Went on stage for jokes. And now you're telling me that my reaction when someone is sitting on a city council for one of America's largest cities, so much power, they have the equivalent power of a small country in LA. If you look at like GDP. Now you're telling me my reaction to that is bad? Stop it. People have exposed their racism, not so much by their reaction, but by how you tell others to react. Just let it go. What do you mean just let it go? That's in LA, Los Angeles. If their city council is caught on tape being racist towards black people, that's a major problem. How would it not be? Nuri Martinez, who was the president of the Los Angeles City Council, do you know do you know where she also worked at? The LA School Board. So if she's calling black children monkeys, how does she feel about all those black children who were underneath her care while she was with the LA School Board? That's the real question, right? But you're going to tell me to have a certain reaction. When those kind of questions linger, you're going to tell me how to react. When those kinds of questions linger. Are you serious? Are you serious? That means that every time a police officer came up before that council to be fired, be disciplined, lectured, all that stuff, right? That means whenever those black victims never got justice, it was intentional. Because they showed us how they felt about black people right on tape. Right on tape. And now people can't play stupid anymore. See, it's out there in the open now. You can't hide it anymore. It's out there in the open, guys. And that's why people are now copping pleas. Well, see, there's racists in every race. Yeah, you could technically say that if you look at a power dynamic, but racism is about power. And what power do black folks have over the LA City Council? The president of the LA City Council is Hispanic, right? And they're all Democrats. Every last one of them. All of them Democrats. We have no power there. So how can we be equally racist there? We can't be, right? So in that situation, you should say, you know what? I'm not going to make any excuses. Your anger is warranted. I'm going to support you. That's how I'm going to roll. That's not what this person did. They immediately wanted to lecture me on how to raise my kid, on how to do it. Listen. That's how this goes. That's how it works for black people in this country. It doesn't matter how on point you are. It doesn't matter how aggrieved you are. It doesn't matter if you are the targeted party. They will always come back at you and somehow expect for you to act better than the racists. Because what people have been told all this time is that it's not them who has to behave, it's us who has to behave no matter what they do. See, that's what happens when you see black folks as a permanent underclass. As a permanent underclass, you feel you could treat us any kind of way. See, all the things that I speak about is all blended together. That's why the cops are out of control, because people see us as a bad thing. So they fund the police as a way of expressing their dislikeness of us. That's why they have no problem with us spending more money on the police misconduct settlements than we did for certain units going to war. Yeah, I actually did that actual content. I've actually crunched those numbers. Right? So that's why. That's why people have no problem always trying to downplay what happens to us. You would never do that to certain other communities. For example, look at what's happening to Kanye West. Look at what's happening to Kanye West. Kanye, it don't matter what kind of excuse Kanye makes, he's just wrong. But Joe Rogan, Joe Rogan says the exact same things that Dave Chappelle got in trouble for, right? In fact, Joe Rogan said it in a much more harsher way. You see anybody jumping on stage with Joe Rogan? Don't worry, I'll wait. Don't worry, I'll wait. Do you see anybody jumping on stage with Joe Rogan? Look, Tracy Morgan said some things that he probably shouldn't have said. But he said it a long time ago, right? Tom Hanks was found on a certain list with a certain someone who didn't do anything to himself, if you know what I mean. You know who I'm talking about. Tom Hanks, Bill Clinton, a lot of them were actually on that list. Are they canceled yet? Let me ask you a question. When's the last time you seen a news article about a Catholic priest? Most of them white. You see one yet? No. Whoopi Goldberg. It didn't matter it didn't matter if Whoopi Goldberg apologized or not. What she said was wrong. But you see how swift the punishment was, right? You saw that, right? Meanwhile, you've got white actors playing Asians, playing black people, playing Middle Easterns, doing the most insulting things. You had an Italian man for the longest time playing as a Native American. You remember those freaking commercials with the little Native American guy with the freaking tear? When people would freaking litter. All right, coming to find out that guy was not actually Native. He was Italian. They can do the most offensive stuff you can think of, right? The most offensive stuff you could think of, and yet it's okay. Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. He got no backlash. Eminem can say some of the most offensive lyrics you've ever thought of in a rap song, right? But then Tiger, he says something that supposedly he put out that song called I Caramba. And it was supposedly offensive towards certain people in other communities. So he had to actually change it. But Eminem can perform at the halftime show. Colin Kaepernick can't kneel as he's playing football. During the national anthem. But Eminem, who put out the Slim Shady LP, the Marshall Mathers LP, he can perform at the halftime show. Think about that for a second. That is anti-blackness if I've ever seen it. But it's okay because Eminem is considered a liberal. He's a good guy. See? Everybody's got to be a little bit more honest. about the levels of anti-blackness we're seeing across this country. And no, I don't have time for you to learn about it and catch up. Catch up. Get with the program. You want to know why? Because I have a black child that's actually on the way, and I already have one, right? So my thing is, if that's the case, suppose somebody doesn't understand fire safety. I don't have time for you to catch up. So if you don't understand racism, you can't be around my child. You can't be around me. I don't have time for you to catch up. We've been through too much as a country in the past 3 years for me to take chances. It is now or never for black folks in this country. We ain't got time for you to catch up. Catch up. Read a book. Use Google. Stop using the whole, I don't know what racism is. Dodge. It's a lie. Stop using the whole, I'm going to criticize Chicago. I'm going to criticize black on black. Listen, no one cares about your silly deflections in your stand-in terms for black people. It's not changing our minds. It's not working. So if you're seeing that's not working, maybe it's time for a different strategy. Maybe listen. Right? Trolling, doing silly stuff like that, that doesn't change minds. There's a reason why so many people listen to me, watch my content, why I average over 2.5 million views a month at this point. Because what I say not only makes sense, but whenever I make a prediction, it ends up happening. Not because I'm so smart. It's only because I'm honest. It's only because I'm honest. It doesn't matter what happens. Right? When it comes to black folks, they will always deflect blame. So do you understand what kind of mindset and conditions you've created in us, America? You've made victims who you victimize, and then you blame the victim. So it comes to the point where we're not going to listen to you anymore. Or we get tired of being crapped on. You've had 400 years to fix white supremacy. You've had 400 years to fix what they call that in freaking Spanish? Mijola la raza. You had 400 years to fix that and white supremacy, and you didn't do either. So step out the way and let us take over the new black media, foundational black Americans, the civil rights freaking movements on the freaking streets. Let us take over, because obviously you can't fix white supremacy, but we can. That's why we are making progress. And that's all. You guys have a great night. I love you all. Sorry for my energy, but I was pissed. LA City Council, you all should be fired. No exceptions.